Situation unfolded in North Carolina. A North Carolina cop resigned after coming under fire for violently mishandling his canine. So this is Salisbury police officer James Hampton. He tendered his resignation after the department recommended him for termination following an external investigation. And this is according to police in a news release. Hampton was allowed to resign following a due process hearing, and this is according to department policy. Now, there's a very real reason why I'm bringing this story up, because of course we've talked about police brutality quite a bit on this show. But he was caught on camera abusing this animal, and we have video. I personally haven't even seen the video yet. I'm guessing it's going to be difficult to watch, so I wanted to give you guys some warning. But with that said, let's take a look.
Camera on? No, my power's off. Okay. I think mine's on.
So that was a video that TMZ obtained, and you heard it right. You hear someone in the background saying, "We're good, no witnesses," because it's clear that the way that he's handling the dog. Look, I can't watch it again. Please take it down. The way he's handling the dog is awful. So they did a investigation immediately, and they recommended him for termination and gave him an opportunity to resign, and he resigned. It's amazing. Like, look, he should resign. He has no business being a cop, and clearly, if he's willing to treat animals that way, I would venture to say that he's vicious toward humans as well. But what's fascinating is, J.R. Jackson always brings up the point about how humans are far kinder to animals than they are to their fellow humans. And it's certainly the case based on the police brutality that we've witnessed in countless videos toward actual living, breathing human beings. And there's usually no consequence for it. But in this case, swift consequences.
Yeah, there's definitely that weird double standard that bears repeating. Like, I'm not saying it's okay to do this to dogs, but there's plenty of people who don't get publicly shamed into resigning after they, for example, put their knee on someone's neck until they die. That's that. The other thing is there's an amazing article from Gizmodo that I found about whether we need police dogs. And there's things like and a lot of the evidence is that we do not. I've met one of the most advanced, technologically advanced, like for military dogs in the world. They actually implant a microchip that in its chest that they activate by playing a radio frequency, and they monitor its vitals in battlefield situations as they go in and sniff out bombs, or they do, they attack people. That's a dog. And I hung out with this dog, and just the energy I felt from this dog. The guy had to stop the interview at a certain point. He's like, the dog is angry that he hasn't killed anyone yet. And that's what they do to the dog. Like, do they need to do it? The Supreme Court upheld a situation. They referenced the dog's training. There have been examples of people absolutely being, they bring a dog out and tell it to do an open air sniff. The dog is wrong half the time, which is a coin flip. But the Supreme Court upholds that if the dog is trained right, and whether it's right or wrong, however much, they can still use it as evidence. Like, all of everything that you think you know about using police dogs is proven to be unnecessary and false. So I just don't know why we need them at all.
No, it's a great point. And I remember TYT having a lengthy debate about this. I wasn't part of that debate. Cenk, Uygur, and Ben Mankiewicz were covering that story. This is like early days of TYT. Ben went a little far. Like, he questions the intelligence of dogs, which I think, obviously I disagree with that. But in terms of using canines for evidence or evidentiary purposes in criminal cases, yeah, there are too many flaws, too many issues there, and I think a lot of people don't know about that. But I agree with you. I mean, I have a hard time believing that it's necessary to use animals the way that they are being used by police officials across the country. I have a problem with the way they're being used for evidence. And I certainly have a problem with the way that that particular cop was treating this animal. I'm glad that he got fired. I just wish that we would extend that to humans as well.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.